Oke. Nggak bisa ngalangin.
Yes, please
Yes,
do.
please. The floor is yours. And Jackie.
Cek. Stay. Udah, jalan.
Yes.
Good.
That is Jackie.
Yay!
How sweet.
Oh, you
my
deserve
gosh.
that.
Vincent,
Yes.
this is so cute. So what you just did was basically part of the things that you would do when you're in a dog show. Yes, that's
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
What we
Looks easy, right, Marissa?
It looks
I mean,
easy,
you
but I
just
don't think
give
that's-
them instruction, they walk
Exactly.
around. Maybe
Yes,
walk around a
please
little
do
bit.
have a
Please,
seat.
Vincent. And then they walk off with, it's a blue ribbon when you're actually in a dog show. Is that right?
If we win the first one.
If you,
Yes.
okay. Well, of course, that's the goal.
That's the goal, exactly.
Yes, exactly. What we're going to talk about this morning
Yes.
is about dog show and dog handler. I mean, this is a profession that is actually not that familiar yet in Indonesia, but I guess we're familiarizing today, and that's why today we have Vincent Emmanuel here with Jackie, the 15-month-old Bichon Frisé, who recently just came back from the Philippines and who has actually won several awards because of his beauty and his skill and his pose and everything. So welcome, Vincent.
Thank you.
Welcome, Vincent.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course.
We're happy to be here.
So cute. Hi, Jackie. How are you? You're an amazing dog. So yes, dog shows and dog handlers. So
Yes.
what is a dog show?
Yes,
What
please tell us
constitutes a
more.
dog show?
Okay, so for me as a dog handler, our job is to present the dog to its maximum potential, to its best quality, not only in grooming, but the way they move, the way they pose, and everything like what I showed you just now. I mean, I had to make the dog stay, looks the best, for the judge to see the anatomy of the dog, to see like how he is. So I think it's quite different than dog trainer. I mean, at home when you train a dog, there's no audience, there's no judge evaluating you, there's no clients expecting anything from you. So there's no nerve, I think, when you train at home. But at the show, there's a lot of nerve, and then it's just like have so many factors for the dogs to be distracted.
Yes.
And so I think to me it's different. A good dog trainer isn't necessarily a good dog handler. But I'm not saying dog trainers aren't good.
Yes, of
They
course.
have their own specialty.
Of course. So what
Right,
is
right.
usually being evaluated when you're in a dog show? Like, for example, your experience recently in the Philippines.
Yes, so any breed has its own standards. So what they're being evaluated is based on that standard, like how close this dog to the standard. I mean, how, like for example, in Bichon Frise, how the coat texture is, how his face, his expression.
Expression as well.
Expression, of course, the
Wow.
expression of the face. I mean, if the location of the eyes compared to the nose and everything, it can make different expressions.
The triangle.
Yes, the
There we go.
triangle, and then also the pigmentation. I mean, the like how black or how it's like a bit black, it's just like dark, and it will create different expression than the ones who has a lighter pigment. So for Bichon Frise, they need a good pigmentation. Like it needs to be dark, like the paws have to be black.
Yeah, let's see the paws because
yeah, we want to see that.
it was interesting when Jackie was walking away
walking
from
away,
us.
yeah.
The paw is actually so small underneath the fluff.
It's the fluffs, you're right. You barely see them, but they're actually there. And the way he's jumping up and down,
Yeah.
so cute. And that's part of the training too. I believe that when you're training, like you said earlier already, that when you're actually in the competition, there's a lot more other factors that you need to be accounted for. So when you're training, do you train him with some audience, maybe one or two guys or watching, or is it first you start it out and then you progress it into?
Okay, both. It's not always easy to find someone else to train together, right?
Yeah.
So many times we just practice by ourselves. But also when it's closer to the dog show dates, then we find our friends, our team to train together. So we will eliminate the factors. We want to create the same environment at the show. I mean, to have them get used to it and not easily distracted. So I mean, even if they are distracted, I mean, we know how to handle it, how to get his focus back and everything.
Wow, that is so interesting. The first time I ever saw a dog show, it was actually on a TV show. It was Sex and the City like some 2 decades ago, because Charlotte York had this beautiful Cocker Spaniel. It was called Elizabeth Taylor, right? I thought, wow, this is so interesting, because, you know, she had to run Elizabeth Taylor with her and show her off a little bit. So it's very interesting. So how mainstream is it, dog show in Asia? Because you recently came back from the Philippines. So how about the landscape in Indonesia? And is a dog handler a profession to look forward to, especially for the young generation nowadays?
In Indonesia, to be honest, it's not as big as it is in other Asian countries. Like, for example, in the Thailand and the Philippines.
Wow, they're more established already.
Yes, a lot more established. A lot more people who were interested in that. And one of the main reasons, I think, is just the way our country is. I mean, dogs, some areas, some people are still scared of dogs, right?
Yes.
And they don't really want to have dogs. And so it's just, from that, it's not as popular as in Thailand and Philippines. But it's really, it's getting more popular, and it's something that really fun to do. So I encourage for young people to just come, see, and then, you know, just try, you know, because it's fun. Like,
how do you get qualified as a dog handler?
Get qualified? No, there's no qualification.
There's no qualification. So how did you train?
Right,
At the time when you decided to, oh, you know what, I think I'm going to be a dog handler. This is we're talking about back in 2016, 2017.
Yeah, well, it started, I started as a dog show exhibitor, not as a handler. I mean, someone who, as the client. So I needed to pay for a dog handler.
Yeah.
But then I saw it as interesting, and just to handle the dog by yourself. So I learned, and also there's a U.S. handler who came to our show, invited by my friend, and then they asked me if I wanted to learn from them. And so I said yes, and then I went to U.S., learned from them, I experienced the dog show there for a month and a half, and then from there, and I decided to become like a professional handler.
Such a passion. Now, you kind of talked about a little bit criterias of this particular breed. Now, just curious, because I had 2 dogs before. So, have you had any experience other than Jackie and this breed?
Of course, many.
Can you tell us? I mean, I want to know if you know that it's going to be cool. A Siberian Husky.
Of course. I am very
Please
familiar.
let me know.
I am very familiar with Siberian
Okay, good.
Husky. My close friend is a Siberian Husky breeder.
Great. So, what do they look for, judges, when they see one?
Okay. Siberian Husky in a standard. I mean, their original breed is supposed to run in the snow, right?
Right.
For a long distance, to carry things in a long distance. So they need to move really well, really efficient mover. So what they are really being judged on is like the way they move.
Oh, yeah.
And also the coat texture also it really needs to repel snow. Cannot let snow get stuck in the coat.
They actually
and everything.
looking at that too.
Of course, they'll touch the coat if it's the correct texture and everything.
Oh, wow, so precise.
Yep.
How long did it take for you to train Jackie?
It didn't take long. I mean, for some dogs, they are really easy to teach, and it's like maybe you need the chemistry first to be easier to teach. So what I do usually, just like I ask from the client to let the dog stay with me for at least 2 weeks, and then the training itself maybe just a week,
Yes.
and the rest is like you build a bond, chemistry with the dog. So it's and at the show, but you can see like he follows you.
Yes.
I mean, this dog follow me. And,
Yes. But
so
Jackie
it's
is yours,
easier.
right?
No, she's not.
She's not. Oh, so this is the thing, right? When you talk about chemistry,
Yes.
we talk about bond, we talk about emotions, we talk about feelings. So during those 2 weeks, it's very intense. And then when the show is done, you have to let go of the dog.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Right.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it gets difficult. I mean, especially the ones that you really, really are close to.
Yeah.
For example, the one that I just showed in the Philippines. The dog is a puppy. He stayed with me for more than a month, and I really, really got attached to the dog. And then when I had to part with the dog,
Yeah.
well, it it was difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cried a bit, to be honest.
I can feel your emotions.
So when you're practicing, getting ready for a show, I'm sure there's got to be a moment, or somewhere between the 2 weeks, or maybe more, a month, the time or the moment when you think, okay, she is ready.
Yeah, right. Yeah, of course.
You have
course,
that moment, and then you decide, okay. But what happens? This is my kind of follow-up question. What happens if you think that the time is running out, and I don't feel like I'm not confident enough to go to the show yet?
Right, yeah. Well, that means you're not a good handler.
Good answer. You don't see that problem in your
Yeah, but
Okay.
there were cases of that I didn't feel confident of the dog because they just wouldn't listen to you, they just wouldn't listen to your commands and everything. And I would say to the client that I would be honest and say, you know what, I don't think he's ready. I will just try my best.
Yeah.
I don't think you gave me enough time with the dog and everything.
So you're just
But most of the time it wasn't the case.
Right.
Because I learned from experience. Like, I need to see the dog first, and then I'll tell the client like how long that it will I will need to do.
Okay. All right. So it's your own assessment before you start.
Yes.
When you
Right.
accept.
Of course.
Okay.
And in dog shows, I know that they are the one who's performing, who's showing off their beauty and skills and everything. But we also notice when we watch dog shows that even the handlers, they also have to look good.
Yes.
They're also being
You're
judged.
right.
Is that true?
Yes, of course. I mean, first of all, we want to look professional to other people. I mean, especially to your clients.
Yes.
When I first started, this is not how I dress.
You dress impeccably, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You guys too, of course. Okay, so this is not how I started. To me, I was still young. I mean, it's not long ago, but I was still younger. To me, like, why you dress too much? I mean, it's too much. I dress more casually. But then my mentor said, well, it's not what you think, it's what other people think. Other people will see you as someone who's not professional, who don't take this job seriously, especially the clients. The clients wouldn't want to have their dogs shown by you if you were dressed like this, especially compared to other professionals. You are being compared to other people. So I mean, also then I realized, okay, that's right. And also if you want to present your dog to best presentation, then you should also present yourself, to look nice.
Yes.
It's a package,
It is
not just the dog.
Yeah, so it's got its challenge in and of itself that you need to dress very nicely. The dog needs to look very, very
Yes.
nicely too. And what can you tell us the challenges, the most challenge maybe in your view of being a dog show handler?
The most challenge?
Yes.
I think the way we have to really take good care of the dog, and we are responsible, and the clients give you the responsibility to take care of the dogs, especially this this Bichon is white and then the coat and everything.
Yeah,
It's really not simple to take care of them. Like you need to brush them daily. You need to keep them clean. You need to, I mean, also to keep them stay away from skin infections and everything. Especially in this our country when it rains, it's very humid.
Damp,
Yes, and then it's really easy to get skin infection. And that's just like you need to. Every day I need to constantly worry about him, about well-being. Yeah, really, like everywhere I go, oh, does he eat well or is he dry? I mean, I need to keep him dry, like, otherwise it's skin infection. So yeah, I mean, if I'm away, I'm not home, I will just ask my people at home, like how is he and everything.
So it's a little bit anxiety-inducing, but I guess it's like to be a dog handler, you have to have certain characteristics, and I think two of them is probably patience, right?
Yes.
A dog handler should have patience, or should be patient, and also the diligence, like to just
keep digging of what you can get out of the.
Yes.
and also how to take care of the dogs. Well, thank you so much, Vincent,
thank
for
you, Vincent.
sharing with us. It's a very
Our pleasures. Thank you for having us.
Look
and
at it.
I just love the fact that you say our pleasure, and it's also because you are a package.
Of course, yeah, together.
I know she's already asleep.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
We're a good host.
He's asleep. He's asleep already.
All right, guys, that's Vincent and Jackie. They just made a stop and they made our day. My morning, at least. I'm sure Marissa's too.
Yeah.
Well, right now we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to have updates from around the world, and Marissa will deliver that for you. Stay here on the C Morning Show.
Thank you so much.